Hi, it's Laurie and welcome back to Eco Earth. So today, before we delve into the bigger problems facing this planet, I thought I'd share with you 5 ways in which you can start doing your bit without even really leaving the comfort of your own home. So let's get into it. Number 1, cutting down the consumption of single-use plastics. 8 million tonnes of plastic ends up in our oceans every single year, and that's often single-use. Stuff like plastic bottles, packaging off things from the supermarkets, and just general waste really. A lot of this comes from landfill, general littering, and just not recycling stuff that should really be in the recycling. Now, that is a lot of plastic in a place it really shouldn't be, and the effect it has on ecosystems and habitats that thrive under the water is drastic really. So, what can you do to help? Reusable plastic bottles for one. These are brilliant. Now, this was not expensive and it saved me money in the long run from not having to use plastic all the time and keep buying stuff from the shop. Also, packaging. When you buy stuff, meal deals, anything you buy from the supermarket is usually wrapped in a ton of plastic. Now, it says it's recyclable, but often most of it isn't. So, what we can do is use our own lunchboxes. Stop wrapping your stuff in cling film. Just put it in a lunchbox and take it with you. They're not expensive and you can start doing that immediately. So that's one way to change your way of living and to help save the planet without even leaving the comfort of your own home. So, number 2, reusable plastic bags. Now, in this country and all over the world, plastic bags are a huge problem. They end up in the ocean and everything gets stuck in them. Turtles get their heads stuck in them. They eat them and, there's so many animals that have been found dead or needed rescuing, and when their stomachs have been examined, it's full of plastic, usually bags of some sort. Now, Bags for Life have been released in all the supermarkets, and even a charge was put on them to prevent people from buying so many, but people still just aren't interested. I work in a supermarket, and daily we have people that come in every single day and they will have a bag. Now, the problem is, all you need to do is bring one of those bags to the store with you and cut down your use of plastic. Even though they're not built to be single use, a lot of people are still using it as such. So get yourself a reusable bag. They range from like 10p to 50p or a couple of pounds depending on what sort of bag you actually want. But using one, it saves you money in the long run of small fees on bags. Plus, you're doing your bit for the environment by not wasting any plastic. And it really does just make sense to take your own bag to the store, especially with this pandemic going on, because you don't know what's on the bags. And bringing your own from home means that you're safe and you're saving the planet. Now, number 3, a big one really, food waste. We waste a lot of food in this country. The biggest ones are bread, milk, and potatoes. Now, I bet you didn't know that we waste 5.8 million potatoes every single year in this country just by stuff that's gone off, that hasn't been used in time. Now, I don't mean changing your way of eating, because a lot of people eat meat and that's fine, but it's just trying to find a way to not waste as much. Buy what you need. Meal planning is brilliant. Plan your meals in advance so you know exactly what you need from the store. How many potatoes do you need? Do you need to buy them in a bag? Do you need as many? Carrots. All of your vegetables will come loose and you can buy them loose for that need that day, but a lot of people buy them in bulk, they don't use them, and they get wasted as the second they start sprouting more vegetables. So just buy what you need when you need it and stop wasting food. And also try and use as much of it as possible. Now, people peel potatoes and waste a lot of the skin, but there's plenty of recipes out there where the skin can stay on. Skin on fries, just using a jacket potato. And anything you do, you can use the whole vegetable, which just look up recipes online. There's plenty out there, especially in the vegan and vegetarian world. Now, I'm not encouraging everybody to become a vegan or a vegetarian. It's up to you and it's entirely your choice, but perhaps cutting out as much meat doesn't mean cutting out all of your meat. So you could use maybe 2 days a week where you just have meat-free stuff, and 5 days a week you still eat your meat. It's not saying you have to choose between the two. You could just try and cut it down to just be a bit more eco-friendly. Also, a big issue is choosing sustainable food sources. This mainly comes from fish. Now, fish are collected in their millions from the sea, usually by super trawlers that just take whatever they can. Now, that's not sustainable. We have enough fish in our oceans that it should last us a lifetime, but it doesn't because they take too many all at once, and a lot of it is wasted or people just don't buy it. And it's really, really having an effect on the populations in our oceans. If we just left it alone, fished more sustainably, then there'd be plenty there for us to have and still have enough to keep our populations up. So choose sustainable food sources. Look at where your food is coming from and just, try and cut down your meat. Don't mean stop eating it altogether, just cut down a bit and just stop wasting food. It's really not worth it, and it's wasting your own money as well as wasting the food. So, number 4 is water and the waste of it. So basically, we use on average 143 litres of water every day just for an individual. That's a lot of water, and that comes from washing up, drinking water, showering, and brushing your teeth. And the waste, it can stop. Really simple. All you need to do, turn the tap off when you're brushing your teeth. Shorten your showers. Do you need to take ages in there doing an acoustic concert at Wembley? I don't think so. So just cut it down and stop using so much water. Every year in this country, we use a lot of water. And over time, as the earth gets hotter and the climate changes, this use of water isn't going to be sustainable. We're not going to have enough to keep using it at such a rate. In the summer, by 2050, it's been estimated that 10 to 15% of the water will have gone in the summer months. Back in the winter when the rainfall starts and the autumn, spring months, the water comes back, but during the summer, it's meant to be reducing a lot more. 50% in some rivers by 2050. That's a lot of water we're going to lose, and a lot of water that we're using. And the use is a lot more than we're going to have. So it's just making simple changes, such as turning the tap off when you don't need it, and just stop taking such long showers, or stop using so much water when you wash up. Fill a bowl, wash it all up, give it a quick rinse. You don't need the tap on the whole time. So it's not really making a big change, it's just making little changes in your life, just to use a bit less and be a bit more eco-friendly. So when it comes to a point when we need the water most, we'll have it. Now, number 5, this is quite a big one, and it's the issue of recycling. A lot of people just don't recycle, or they don't know what sort of thing actually goes into their bins. So plastic, of course, but not all plastic. Stuff like your ready meals from the supermarket, they're in coloured plastic, and the black one, it can't go into your recycling because they've coloured the plastic. Stuff like paper, you have to look at what sort of paper is it? Has it been covered in something? Because often if they've been coated, they also can't be recycled because it's not the original paper. Now, recycling is easy. You literally just need to look at the back of the packet. A lot of the stuff does tell you exactly what you're supposed to do with it. Whether you need to put it in your home recycling, take it somewhere to be recycled, or it goes in your regular bin. So it's really not hard to recycle. And a big problem we have is littering. Now, again, I work in a supermarket and our car park is always littered with rubbish, often plastic bottles, cans, bags, and cardboard, paper, all that sort of thing. And that's all stuff that should be ending up in the recycling, but instead it's ending up on the floor. And when it's picked up by somebody, it just ends up in a regular bin because they're not going to sit there and sort through it. So recycling is a big issue. It's just putting the right things in the right bins so they end up in the right places. We want our recycled stuff to actually go into making something new. Whereas if it ends up in another bin, it's just going to end up at landfill, where again, it blows off the landfill and ends up in the wrong places, such as the ocean. So just check the back of your packaging, check your local recycling, and just try and do your bit to get rid of your rubbish more responsibly. So thank you for watching my 5 ways how you can start saving the planet from the comfort of your own home. If you can take anything away from this and help to do your bit to save our planet, then that's all I'm asking. So thank you for watching, and as always, do your bit to save the planet.